Hi, my name is Molly McMillan with Aviation Week, and we're standing in front of an incredible story. Behind me is Doc, a B-29 that was built in 1944 in Wichita, Kansas. And the story began really in 1987 when Tony Mazzolini found the plane in a desert in California where it was a home for birds and desert creatures. And he began a journey to take possession of the airplane and get it restored. In the year 2000, it came to Wichita, Kansas on the back of flatbed trucks in pieces. And after that, volunteers spent the next 16 years lovingly restoring the plane back to flyable condition. Doc rolled out of a former Boeing hangar in Wichita on its first trip to Oshkosh. The B-29 carried a crew of 7, including pilot Mark Novak and second-in-command Sean Elliott. It also carried a flight engineer, a navigator flight engineer, and 3 scanners.
Flying the B-29s is an amazing thing. I've flown military airplanes my whole life, and then to get the chance to fly not one, but actually I fly both B-29s is once in a lifetime thing. I cherish every moment I get to do it. A lot of people ask how the plane flies. The B-29 sort of has a step, so when you're below about 170 miles an hour, it's sort of a big pickup truck, almost like a dump truck trying to drive it. But once it gets above 170, it flies very responsibly. The pilots and the flight engineers have to work hand in hand. Pilots, they don't really let the pilots touch the throttles unless we're taxiing or for takeoff. So the flight engineer starts the engines, stops the engines, controls those big 18-foot propellers. So he's really the hardest working guy on the airplane. The pilots, we just get to drive the plane.
The bomber has a tunnel that connects the pressurized cockpit with the center of the aircraft. In the center section, scanners watch the engines and the landing gear, they check for oil leaks, and otherwise act as the eyes and ears of the pilots, from the propellers to the back of the plane. The tail gunner may have had the loneliest spot on the aircraft during World War II, where he was isolated with his fellow crewmates. Jerome Micka is 93 years old and came out to visit Doc when it made a stop in Cedar Rapids on its way to Oshkosh. Mr. Micka served as a gunner in the center fire station and controlled the remote firing system. He completed 29 missions during the war, flying from the B-29 base in Tinian to Japan, a trip that took 15 or 16 hours. Doc flew during the Korean War and was decommissioned in 1956 and then sent to the Mojave Desert. Tony Mazzolini found the aircraft in 1987 and then spent years working to get it out of the desert and into Wichita to be restored.
I was completely in awe. You know, to see this aircraft back in the air again and to take a look at it and its size, it's even hard to imagine that I even got it out of the desert.
It was an incredible journey getting here to Oshkosh. I was able to fly in the airplane and it was amazing. When we took off for Oshkosh, I was actually in the bombardier's position right in the nose of the aircraft, and what a ride that is. So it's an incredible journey. I urge you, if you have the opportunity to come out and see Doc, it's really a touring history museum, and it will be at air shows like the one in Oshkosh and other events around the country.